Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with Katy Graves.
How y'all doing?
I am so excited to talk to you. I've been waiting for this actually for a while. So you have a powerful story, and I think there's a lot people are going to learn from you. You are just more than a pretty face, and you have a gorgeous face, by the way, and a great voice. You are a real human being that faces real life challenges. And, I know you started playing music when you were really young, and you have some really awesome things on your website, like a quote that is making possible possible or making impossible possible.
Right.
And I love that. So I want you to tell me about that one, because that stood out to me the most.
Well, as a musician and as an artist, and I'm pretty sure anybody can really relate to it, everybody has trials and obstacles and things that they go through, but the biggest thing is I'm doing something I love. I'm pushing through every obstacle that life can probably throw at you. And the story behind making the impossible possible is I was having a really hard time with some stuff that happened with my music, and as all musicians get to at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on a bench in a park, and this bee came up and was just hanging out. And I was like, well, what is this? So I'm all about symbolism and meaning, and so I went and looked up what bees meant. And basically, just to summarize it, is they make impossible possible, because nobody knows how that bee can, with those little wings,
right,
fly so fast. I mean, obviously now they figured it out, but that was the biggest thing, was that bees symbolize, making things possible and time. And so that's been a big thing for me, is always just realizing that there's so much more in this world going on, and we just have to continue to push through it.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's an incredible message. And, we hear these awful stories in Hollywood, and teenagers and just people who get to the end of their rope and they don't want to go on anymore. And it's just heartbreaking. So when I saw that on your website, I was like, I know there's more to this. I wanted to know more. So thank you for sharing that. That's incredible. And so how old were you when you started actually playing?
Believe it or not, I started writing music really young. I used to have notebooks full of my music. I didn't have a lot of support as far as, being grown or encouraged in music.
Mm-hmm.
The person that really influenced me with that was my grandmother. She had a career in Nashville, and she turned it down to raise a family.
Oh, wow.
And she died a couple of years ago, and I was able to play my music for her that she had never heard. But it's a legacy that I want to continue to do. And I started, I want to say, maybe 3 years ago, picking up the guitar, because I was actually sick and bedridden with Lyme's disease. And
oh, wow.
I couldn't do music for a long time. And the only thing I had was my voice. And then I was like, you know what? All this fear and all this stuff I have about getting on a stage and really singing that fire that I have inside me, I'm done with that. I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna do it. There's no holding back anymore. Because, when you almost die, your whole perspective changes on life.
Right.
And after that, it's been, as fast as I can go and learning. And, but it was just a couple of years ago that I really picked up the guitar, taught myself to play, and really started pushing a lot of my music out there.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, and I know that you were on Nash Next, a new reality series. What was that like for you?
It was a lot of fun. I think what I enjoyed the most was that every day you were always doing something with music, and it was pushing your limits as an artist. Mine was pushing the limits to a non-country
right
cover, but it was good, because it really stretches you to just kind of be in the moment and go with it.
Right.
But also not to forget, you can make anything yours, no matter how you're doing it. Always put your own personal touch on it. And always push yourself to do better or do something different, but don't get so closed-minded that you're not open to where things could go.
Absolutely. And I think, it takes special artists to be able to do that because, there's a ton of talent out there and there's a ton of people that are, going for it and going for their dreams. But then there's also those that are just they let their fear kind of consume them and they don't, push forward and they don't put their own spin on something and they try to play it the safe route. And,
Right.
so I'm glad to hear that, you are not one of those people at all. And I have to tell you, your song Whiskey and Jesus, a minute and a half of you singing with no music, just you by yourself, your voice, a cappella. And that was so powerful for me when I was listening to that. And you definitely have some power to your voice. And it is incredible. And that's my favorite one that I've heard of yours. And I want to know, it sounded so emotional, that song.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's the story behind it.
I knew it. I was like, okay, the way she delivers this is great.
Well, I grew up a preacher's kid. So, that was fun. And it really came at a point where, because I used to sing in church, and and this is nothing to say, bad things about people, or this is just my personal experience of what I've experienced with the church. And a lot of it had to do with a lot of jealousy, a lot of pettiness, a lot of judgmental things that, were just unnecessary. Right. And when I switched from singing on a stage at church to singing in a bar or singing at festivals or anywhere outside of where church was, or, for instance, having a drink and people seeing, or it didn't matter. The goal of that song for me was, it's just like, hey, this is who I am. You know what? My heart is not going to be any different just because I'm having some whiskey. My heart's not any different just because I'm singing in a bar. My heart's not any different if I'm singing on a street corner. It doesn't matter where I'm at or what I'm doing. What matters is what's in my heart. And if you don't like it, just don't listen. Go away.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, everybody gets offended so much over so many things, like, oh my goodness, you sing about alcohol, you sing about this, you're an alcoholic, or you did. No, the song started coming. That was a song I couldn't put to my guitar, and it was in the middle of the night, and I had gotten into it with a lady about alcohol and Jesus and church and my music, and I said, no, you know what? No, I don't have to explain myself anymore. This is who I am. If you don't like it, go deal with him, because, God's got all that covered. But
absolutely,
the biggest thing is people not taking responsibility, even when they're blaming things on religion. And that was a lot of the emotion that was coming from that song. Is there's so many things that people are so quick to judge and so quick to just rip people apart because of their own issues.
Oh, trust me. I get it.
You get it, yeah.
I definitely get it. I actually am in the middle of a Facebook debate right now about something that is very judgmental, and it cracks me up that I'm just like, I won't resort to name calling or anything like that. I am who I am. And, and that's just how it is. And I just, I wish there were more people, out there who were a lot less judgmental. And sadly, we encounter it every day, and there's more and more victims and more people getting offended every single day over the littlest things. And it's just, I had to stop watching the news and everything because it was just, it's depressing and sad. And you look around and you think, what's wrong with everybody? Like, just get along. So
you got to surround yourself with people that are, have a good outlook on things, because it's so easy to look at the negative all the time.
Exactly.
And people just need to give other people grace, because we're all on our own journeys. We're all on our own paths.
Right. Right.
Walked a mile in any of our shoes, and to assume or to judge is pretty ignorant. Everybody should just take a step back and give everybody grace.
Right. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly, and I'm so glad that I listened to that song. And that song seriously just spoke to me more than anything. And I was like, wow, your voice is so powerful. And, and then the other song that I love is Texas Jewel. That is such a fun, great dancing song. I could just picture people, as you're singing that one on stage, they're just having a ball on that dance floor. It's a great song. I love it. So, and do you write all of your songs?
I do. I write all my own music.
Oh, that's incredible. I love that. I'm huge on songwriting. I talk about it all the time. With pretty much everybody. I just absolutely love when artists are writing their own music, and it makes you a lot more relatable to your fans, and it gives them an easier way to connect to you. And I just think that that's an incredible thing that you can do. And so you also are doing a new radio show with Mile High Sports. What is this about?
I am.
Okay.
So it actually just kind of fell in my lap. I went on their show. Let's see, when was it? A couple months ago. I think in September. And I had a blast. And sure enough, they're like, "Hey, you think maybe you'd want to come here and there and do some stuff with us?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? That would be so fun." Because as a musician, there's so much time in between different things you do that having those other things, keeps stirring up creativity. And I love sports too. I was a big jock. Wasn't a cheerleader or anything like that. I'm I don't know how you call it, the prissy Tom girl or whatever.
Oh, I love it.
It is. I still like to get dressed up, but I can get dirty, on the side and do what I need to do. But sports is just something that I always loved growing up, and I still play. I'm fixing to play on a women's hockey thing on Sunday nights just for fun. And,
oh, wow.
Just things like that. So when I was able to get with Benny Bash and one of the guys, Kent, too, that was on the show, they're just great guys. And I love talking about sports and other things. And this show has just been so awesome to just be a part of. And I don't even know where it's headed or how it's going to all unfold, but I'm still have to venture. So.
Hey, you know what? It's an amazing adventure that you're going to be on, and I'm sure you're going to have some just great stories from it and a ton of fun. And I'm excited for you on that, because when I read that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Mile High Sports and a radio show. And I'm like, and a country artist? I'm like, wow, this is awesome.
They want to incorporate my music, too, with it. So that's going to be really neat. I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on, that I've been working on. With, as anybody knows, it takes a while to get good music out. And I'm fixing to work with Josh James in Denver. He's a new producer that's come to Denver, and Third and James. And I'm just really excited. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait to hear what the end result on that is going to be. That sounds like
you're going to love it.
Oh, I'm sure. And we post links to everything. So as you update us, we'll make sure we update everybody, else as well. And, there's one other thing that I just wanted to ask about, because I know that in your songs you sing about whiskey, and I know that you have an AKA as Whiskey Kate. How did that come about?
My song 80 Proof that I wrote with a friend of mine, it kind of was one of those things where, because I like whiskey and I'm kind of a whiskey snob too, so the guys in the band and the people, producers are always razz me about, Whiskey Kate, because she likes whiskey, and so it just kind of fell into the song.
That's awesome.
So ever since then, it's been like the niche. It's people just are saying Whiskey Kate, and I had a clothing sponsor that made me a bracelet for it, saying Whiskey Kate on it. So it was just a cute nickname that just kind of stuck, honestly. And some people don't know how to handle that, but I really don't care.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever. It's all good. Your fans love it, so that's all that matters, right? And I think it's great, and you are so much fun. And your story, though, and especially with the Lyme disease, and you talking about that, and being able to be that hope for somebody else, and being able to be that good, positive example, I think is astounding. And I'm so glad that you talked to me about that, because oftentimes I think fans or people think that, okay, celebrities are celebrities, they're stars, musicians, whatever, and nothing ever happens to them. They have perfect lives, and it's so not the case.
No,
it's
not the case. No, Lyme disease is just one of those things. I mean, there's been so much other stuff that's happened in my life, between heartbreak and starting over again, and I mean, everybody has those journeys, and
absolutely.
And what I do is I just sing about it. I find a way to sing about all those things and write it, and rise above it. The biggest thing is rising above these things, because what, this life is meant to be lived. Yeah. And if you're not living, what are you doing?
Exactly.
And that's been the biggest, probably most amazing thing that's come out of it is, what? Sometimes things are just divine, and you just got to go with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think you're doing an amazing job, and you have such a positive outlook on life and everything. And I love talking to people who are just an inspiration for others, and you are absolutely that. So, kudos to you for all of that. And yes, definitely keep writing, because it's songs like yours that give the rest of us who don't know how to express what we're feeling, it gives us an outlet, right? So yeah. I absolutely love that. And I know I'm going to keep playing the Whiskey and Jesus song over and over and over.
Good.
Because I mean, yes, it is 1 minute and 29 seconds long, and I don't care. It was like the best 1 minute and 29 seconds I have heard in a really long time. And I am in love with that song. So I just can't wait to share this with everybody. I can't wait to get your interview posted, because you definitely are paving the way for a lot of female artists with dreams and goals. And I can't wait to watch what you have coming out for us next. I'm excited. I know it's going to be great. I'm sure you are. That's awesome. But
well, a buddy just kind of put my music together, helped me put my music together. So what's coming out again, or I say again, I've been performing a lot of it for a long time, but the stuff that's coming out it's so good, because I've been writing so much. And after releasing my single Texas Jewel and going on a radio tour through Texas and went to Nashville and back up to Colorado, with John Missy and John Missy Studios. He's brilliant, in Denver as well. I really have just been blessed with people in my life, coming into my life, that have just kept me pushing towards those goals. So anything I can do to help other women and musicians in country music and pushing them to be their best, that's important. We got to stick together and help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you are doing an amazing job, and we here at Center Stage will always support you. So anything you have, any news you have, you just let us know. We'll keep updating all of the fans that we have as well. So I'm excited, and I can't wait for more. And of course, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so have yourself a wonderful Thanksgiving. You have a lot to be thankful for, I'm sure, as all of us really do. Just sometimes it takes a little bit to realize it. But so thank you so much for taking the time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And we will get this posted for everybody, and I cannot wait. So
thank you, Missy. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem at all. And you have yourself a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
I will.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.